Welcome back to my channel. I am Adorkable Rachel, and it's time once again for another episode of Muppet Monday. It's the holiday season, and can you tell that I'm trying to be festive? So I have been getting a couple of requests to review some Muppet-related holiday specials, but actually we have some significant anniversaries coming up next year, so please just bear with me while I wait on those ones. However, this year we're actually celebrating a pretty significant anniversary of an often overlooked special, and that is the Christmas toy. Believe it or not, this year will actually mark 30 years since it first aired on ABC. Yeah, even if you're a Muppet fan or a Jim Henson fan, I bet you didn't even know it was gonna be 30 years this year, did you? And I've never really seen the special until recently, so I don't really have much nostalgic connection to it, but yeah, let's take a look at it anyway. Now, this isn't technically a Muppet-related special, but it was produced by the Jim Henson Company in 1986, and he does have a lot of his core performers doing all the puppetry, so it definitely merits discussion. Also, it does start with Kermit the Frog introducing the special, so you see? It is a Muppet-related special! There you go! It counts! Ha! This 1-hour special tells the story of a bunch of toys that come to life in a playroom when no one's around. Yeah, cause that's never been done before. But this particular night is Christmas Eve, so all the toys are getting ready for all the new toys that will be arriving the next day. However, one toy named Rugby the Tiger, who is a brand new toy last Christmas and is currently the kid's favorite, is under the impression he's supposed to take part in being a present again, and is determined to get himself into a box under the Christmas tree for the next morning. But it turns out if toys are caught alive, or in a place that's not their usual spot, they will be frozen forever. I have to admit, I've never heard that one before. So once the other toys realize what Rugby's trying to do, they quickly spring into action to try and stop him before he or anyone else is frozen forever. Okay, let's first talk about what people probably remember about this special. While the whole toys coming to life thing is really nothing new, even for the 1980s, I have to admit it's actually kind of interesting to see toys getting ready for Christmas. I mean, toys and Christmas pretty much go hand in hand, so yeah, that seems very fitting when you're a kid. Probably the #1 thing that really makes a special work is that there's puppets performing the toys. Think about when you were a kid. Why do we continue to enjoy stories about toys coming to life? Probably because you had fantasies about your own toys coming to life when you were a kid. And sure, that works in animation and in books and pretty much any media for that matter, but when you really think about it, puppets are kind of like toys, aren't they? I mean, a lot of puppets that we're familiar with do represent dolls or stuffed animals, and when you're a kid, didn't you also kind of enjoy watching puppets sometimes because they actually did look like toys that were alive? And I mean, look at Rugby. He basically looks like a stuffed animal just turned into a puppet. And even a doll named Apple really looks and feels like a living doll. So for kids, I can imagine that watching toys come to life in this fashion is actually pretty awesome. And it's actually really neat because they don't just have stuffed animals and dolls that talk, they also have a lot of other kinds of toys. And the Jim Henson team obviously got really creative with finding ways to make them look alive too. They even managed to make a Barbie-like doll look alive.
The black is perfect for a rescue mission, but this suit is so cute. Oh, don't leave without me. I'll be ready in a minute.
LOL, cause 80s and women be shopping. Oh, and hey, there's also another Barbie-ish doll thing that shows up. She's the new toy in town that will probably replace Rugby as the favorite. Her name is...
I am Meteora, Queen of the Asteroids.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I am Meteora, Queen of the Asteroids.
Okay, not to sound sexist, but what 80s girl doll toy is this?
What planet is this?
The living room?
Okay, so let me get this straight. You have a bunch of toys in the playroom that are worried about being replaced, and then there's also a new toy coming to town, but she doesn't think she's a toy, she thinks that she's from outer space. Gee, Pixar, it's almost like you're unoriginal or something. Okay, jokes aside, in my opinion, I think that the best part of this entire special is probably the puppetry and how it utilizes the storytelling. But after that, I have to say I am a really big fan of the music. The guy responsible for the music and lyrics in this special is Jeff Moss, and he worked with Jim Henson a lot over the years and even did a lot of songs for Sesame Street, and yeah, it's pretty much very Jeff Mossy. And by that, I mean he's really good at creating music that just seems to fit the atmosphere of whatever it is that he's writing for. The songs can be a little schmaltzy and very 80s-ish, but they can also be very catchy and pretty whimsical too. And I think out of all of them, the best and most memorable song is the closing number, Together at Christmas. Probably because it does wrap up the special really nicely, and it does exactly what the song says, which is bring everyone together at Christmas.
We'll be together at Christmas.
However, if we're gonna be really honest with each other, probably one of the weakest parts of this special would be the story. Now, like I said before, the idea is cute, but they talk about toys being frozen forever if they're found in a place where they weren't before. Now, this certainly raises the stakes in this world, but the way that it's handled, I really can't help but ask a couple of layered questions around that. For example, what if a toy is discovered by someone else who didn't see the last place they were left in? You know, like when Mew was discovered in the hallway by the mother near the end?
Oh no, we've got to do something!
Oh yeah, did I also mention that there's a little mouse cat toy named Mew?
Oh, I'm a toy too, you know.
But you're a god toy!
So, you're a cat?
Okay, sure. And next you'll be telling me he actually gets a little mouse friend at the end named Mew too!
Hi, I'm Mew.
Hi, I'm you too.
I was kidding, guys! Anyway, I guess it just kind of confuses me because not only did Mew totally have time to, you know, leave the hallway before he was found, but I guess this part of the story just seems really weak to me because they're trying to like make it into some kind of sacrifice, which, let's face it, is insanely pointless, and also it just seems like they're really trying to force this special to an hour's length. But again, it doesn't make a lot of sense because after he freezes, Rugby sings a little song of regret and suddenly Mew comes back and everything's okay. Even some of the other toys that were frozen just suddenly come back to life again. And it's never explained. Why does all of this happen? Who made these rules about toys freezing? And how in the world did they come back to life? I guess the power of love or song or Christmas or God knows what just brought them back. And hey, wait a minute! How come the toys don't freeze up when Kermit closes out the show? It's kind of funny too, because they don't really try to bring in like the true meaning of Christmas into this special either. They don't really touch on the history of the holiday or that kindness and giving is like the whole meaning of Christmas. The only thing that really comes through is that the toys kind of realize that they're all important and none of them are better than the other. In the end, the story's kind of about Christmas, but it's more from the perspective of the toys. Which actually, now that I think about it, that's probably the whole point. Yeah, maybe that's it. It's no big masterpiece, but a lot of people seem to enjoy watching The Christmas Toy because it really does breathe life into the fantasy of what it's like to be a toy at Christmas. You can relate to wanting to feel special, and you can also relate to not wanting anyone to take your place. But at the same time, when you remember that everyone in your circle has something to offer, in the end, it's about being together and supporting each other. And of course, being there when the kids need you. Again, looking at you, Toy Story. The Christmas Toy is no classic. Actually, I do think that there are a lot better Muppet-related Christmas specials out there, but the biggest stars of this one particular special are the themes of togetherness, the puppetry, and of course the music. And for any big Jim Henson or puppetry fan, those are usually some very good reasons for checking the special out. Also, just the atmosphere in general is definitely enough to get you into the spirit of the season. It does have plot holes, some scenes seem slow and even a little repetitive, and they probably could have focused a little more on some holiday-ish themes, so if it doesn't seem worth your time, I won't blame you. But it is a short special, and you should be able to find it on YouTube without any trouble if you really want to watch it. And it's also available on Amazon if you really want to purchase it too. It'll probably be more enjoyable for the younger crowd, but if you give it a chance, it's still a good watch for any big Muppet fan. It has fun characters, good musical numbers, and if nothing else, is a fun experiment to watch that does a pretty decent job of capturing the fantasy most of us had of our toys coming to life at Christmas. So those are my thoughts thoughts on the Jim Henson holiday special, The Christmas Toy. So now my question this time around is, did you grow up with the special? And if so, what did you think? Or even if you're a Muppet fan and only got the chance to check it out as an adult, again, what are your thoughts? Well, go ahead and leave your comments below. Be sure to like and share. And if you're new and like what you saw here, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Have a wonderful and happy holiday season. And as always, please be sure to keep checking back for more Adorkable videos coming out real soon.